Hey guys, I'm Kira, and today we have
Hello, I'm Claire, the new member.
wonderful Claire. So
hmm
let's just start with catching up. What did you do today?
so recently there's been like these new Korean corn dogs at H Mart, and I really wanted to try them for a while because if you don't know, they were all over TikTok.
I've
So
seen them online too.
you have?
Don't they have potatoes or something on the
Yeah,
app?
they do. Yeah, they have like potatoes. Like they have like a variety of selection, and it's honestly it's a little overhyped, just a little bit.
Is it? Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it was all right. It wasn't like that great, but it wasn't that bad.
I think I've seen a lot of just fried foods,
hmm
and they always make you salivate. Also, just the Asian street foods. Honestly.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Did you do anything interesting today?
Today, not so much. Honestly, just staying at home. Saturdays are pretty open for me, so I'm just binging dramas. Right now, I'm watching
Oh,
School.
interesting. I was
It's
on
a
a call with you the other day and you were watching a
yeah,
drama, right?
I was watching a Chinese drama, but
Uh-huh.
then I finished all the episodes that are out, so now I'm watching Law School. I think for myself because so far I've watched Vincenzo before and I really enjoy.
Oh, I want to watch that. Is it good?
Yes, personally, I think it is very, very good. Also, I think I'm getting tired of the romance dramas
Uh-huh.
because the plots sometimes seem to be very
Like,
predictable.
mm-hmm.
So just anything beyond that is interesting. Like Law School that I'm watching right now,
Mm-hmm.
you've got the murder plot and just all of that. So it's pretty interesting.
Sounds good. Sounds interesting. I will for sure check them out when I have time.
Yeah,
All
all right.
right.
So today our topic is actually on makeup. That is our rift for today. I personally do not wear makeup. I don't think I really ever maybe yeah, I don't have any recollection of wearing makeup, but I
Right.
know Claire sometimes like just for fun you wear makeup.
Yeah, you were on a live with me when I did my makeup once. You were talking
Yes,
about it
yeah.
with me. I do like to experiment with makeup. I think makeup is like a really fun thing. You can always like change up your look with makeup. So, but all my makeup's really old. It's like 2 years old. Because in sixth and seventh grade, I had this sort of phase, not phase, but more like a period of time where I just started like splurge buying all the cheap makeup I could find at the nearby CVS.
Well, I don't think you don't need those very
Yeah,
expensive
you don't really need like one if you're a beginner, you don't need
yeah.
to worry about like I don't know, like Maybelline. You don't need to worry about those brands. Just experiment, have fun.
Honestly, same goes for fashion. You don't need
Mm,
to buy trendy clothes and always
exactly.
update your wardrobe to
Uh,
enjoy fashion and enjoy the process of that.
like recently, not recently, just in general, the trend. So I've been following a lot of like Asian fashion. They've been wearing a lot of the really ugly dad shoes, and
Oh,
they're like. I went online. I searched them up because I was just genuinely curious about the price, and they were like over 100. Like I'm
oh
not
yeah, yeah.
paying
Mhm.
$100 just to buy a pair of rusty old dad sneakers.
You
I'm
can
going to
probably
Goodwill.
find those in a thrift store. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Goodwill.
exactly. And
Uh-huh.
I really want to thrift because I feel like it's like a really, I would say like neat way to like get new fashion or be like exposed to new different types of clothing. My mom won't let me.
You know, I tried once. I forced my parents to take me to a Goodwill, and I don't think nothing was really found there. I don't think I ended up buying any. You have to get lucky, but
Okay.
also, even if you don't get lucky, you have to be creative, especially for, I know people alter their clothes, but I don't have a
Yeah.
sewing machine, which is so sad. I think my mom donated it. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, so I was really into sewing for a while. And I just in general, I just really like to sew. And I really, really wanted to have a sewing machine over quarantine. Like, how long was quarantine again?
Since March, right?
Almost half a year. And I was really bored. And I actually found out that we did have a sewing machine. And so I actually do have a sewing machine, and I love it.
No, do you actually make things or alter?
So I tried making. If you have a sewing machine and you tried making clothing, you know that it doesn't work out because sewing is just a very meticulous process. You need like patterns,
Yeah.
and then you need to have like a sketch. And I just skipped through that whole process and just jumped into like sewing. It did not work at all.
At
So
least you
so
can make
far,
small things. You can make hats.
yeah, you
A
can make small
skirt.
things.
Skirt is like very simple. It's just a tube, essentially, kind of.
Yeah.
I did make one or two scrunchies, but literally by hand sewing.
I I never really got into scrunchies, like the whole scrunchie trend, purely because nobody liked Visco girls.
Yeah, well, I don't even have the opportunity or as much opportunity with short hair. Although, I'm saying this as I have my hair tied up. But it's also because sometimes in the store, if you see like $7 for one scrunchie, I think that's overpriced.
That is overpriced. Okay, so I have a bunch of friends who came up to me and like always asked like, "Oh, Claire, you're so good, quote unquote good at makeup. How did you start? And how are you so good?" All I can say is that it's not a matter of being good, it's a matter of how long, like okay, so when people think of makeup or just in general different hobbies, they think that you have to have this hobby for a really long time in order to be good at it. That's not true. Majority of my makeup looks I copied from the internet, and I did my it was like an on and off process. Like sometimes I did it and then I would wait 2 months and then do it again when I was in like 6th or 7th grade. So you don't have to worry about keep doing your makeup to look good. It's just
Yeah, you can pick it up whenever you want.
I'm pretty sure you've heard on the internet that a lot of people are like a lot of guys are starting to wear makeup, and like it's just like makeup is like breaking gender norms essentially.
Yeah, yeah.
So I personally follow a lot of guys who do their makeup, and I think it's just a wonderful and cool process. And makeup is just such a unique, I would say, tool to expressing yourself. And so many people are against it for some reason because a lot of people on the internet are saying, "Oh my God, he or she is catfishing simply by wearing makeup." And I disagree with that statement because
Yeah,
expressing
it's
yourself
hard
isn't
because there are people that oppose makeup and wearing it. Their view is that makeup is the appearance, it's on the outside. So it's obviously for other people. But that oftentimes not the case for people that just enjoy doing makeup. Like you were telling me the other day that you actually feel happy when you wear
yeah.
makeup and you have like this full look. So
hmm
that's good for you. And then also it's good for any guys that do makeup.
Exactly. I just feel like makeup's for everybody. If you're hesitating about doing makeup because your parents say no, screw them and buy the makeup because it's great to express. I do feel like makeup's pretty important in life because it's just nice to have the opportunity to change yourself up once in a while. Like for
Yeah.
me, makeup is such a big confidence booster. And whenever I do my makeup and I wear like a nice outfit set, I just feel so confident. And I feel like that confidence can really help people in terms of like self-image or like self-love. Makeup is great.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so many uses.
It's like
So,
similar to changing it up, maybe like when I
mhm.
go to college, I'll dye my hair pink or something. No one knows me.
Exactly.
You just change it up.
Uh,
Though I saw a YouTube video. Do you know Tree Man?
I know Tree Man.
There was a video where they had a guy putting on makeup, and then it's
Oh,
like a
I
social
saw that.
experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think part of the social experiment, it was an actor that was telling him that like, no, that's not okay. You're a guy, you can't be wearing makeup. And this is in China. A lot of people
Mhm.
came to support him and say, what's wrong with it? Although some people were like, it's weird, but
He likes it.
yeah.
So, and I saw that experiment and I was actually very impressed with a lot of people. So, a lot of Asian parents, not Asian parents, just like because of like their generational sort of ideas that they were brought up with, they're very against guys wearing makeup. Like my parents themselves, they are against my brother wearing makeup and my brother like putting earrings. I'm not saying my brother does all that. But I'm saying just like they're slightly homophobic. So like the fact that the newer generation is just so, I would say the ideas the newer generation comes up with is just so not mind-blowing, more like influential. Because how like there's been a stand for like more open-mindedness
Yeah.
like all over the internet. And naturally in America we see a lot of that, but I would never have thought that in China
Yeah, so
it's pretty
in
cool.
Asian households, there might be more conservative views on
Yeah.
that.
hmm
But I almost find that ironic because, in the K-pop industry, it's undisputed that they wear makeup, right, for their stages, just in general. And you can tell it's not any hidden fact. Like sometimes here, if males do wear makeup, it's just like to conceal any what you would call imperfections on the face, maybe like
hmm
acne, things like that. But in just, I guess, the K-pop industry, they actually wear makeup, sometimes eyeliner, you know, the eyeshadow. So it's kind of ironic if we say that Asians have conservative views, but then we have obviously the whole K-pop industry.
It is kind of funny because I think it's more of the newer generation though. The newer generation of K-pop
Maybe.
is
Oh
more
yeah.
make
Okay.
yeah. Or like their makeup is more obvious to see than the older generation. Maybe that's why.
We were saying how makeup can be a tool for expressing
Mm-hmm.
themselves for people to use. You know, you can be in your prime form in makeup. You can enjoy the artistic expression of it. But at the same time, I also see how it can obviously be bad. And this is how a lot of people who oppose makeup, they're probably thinking how it becomes superficial, right? And, you know, I can see that happening.
Okay, so the thing about people not liking makeup, I don't really see how it would correlate because unless you're wearing makeup to just for you to look good and to like attract a partner, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Okay, what you were saying, obviously, makeup to look better, to look a different way. That's the whole point. It could make you feel good. But when it becomes a situation where you're too reliant on makeup to feel comfortable
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
in
that's the
your,
problem.
yeah, in your own body, in your own skin, I think that's
Hmm.
when it becomes a problem.
That yeah, I agree. Makeup is a great self-confidence booster. Though, if you're using makeup to make yourself feel better, and the moment you take it off, you feel like crap,
Yeah,
that's when you know it's not the makeup, it's more of yourself that you need to work with,
right.
I would say. So I wouldn't particularly put the blame on makeup. I would probably put the blame, not, I'm not putting the blame. I'm just saying, just like, you
Makeup is not
probably,
to blame.
yeah, I would probably say you really need to just probably slowly adjust to like loving yourself first. Loving yourself first will then lead to
Yes, honestly,
better.
just
Hmm.
always, that's what I always say, just
Love.
feeling confident with yourself, just, you know, almost like
Hmm.
naked, literally or not figuratively as well. You naked, just yourself. You should feel confident and you should feel proud
Exactly.
of it. And then you can do whatever you want. You can wear whatever clothes you want,
Exactly.
whatever makeup. And without makeup, you'll feel fine.
Mm. And the thing about the fashion industry and the makeup industry, no matter what the heck you wear, as long as you're confident while wearing whatever you wear, that is fashion. Like, have you seen a lot of models? There's this one, I wouldn't say social experiment, more like a prank where this guy wore like plastic bags and like really like just they created the ugliest outfit and then went to I think New York Fashion Week and they got in. It's so important to note that fashion itself, the reason why fashion is because how confident it makes people feel.
Yep.
And the thing with makeup as well, you can go with like the crappiest makeup on this planet, and as long as you like rock it with confidence, that's a makeup look.
That is,
Like
yeah.
it's just when people are like, oh my god, I want that fashion or I want this makeup, go ahead, pursue it. But I'm just letting you know the reason why it's such a thing is because people are confident wearing it. So be confident. That's like so important. I cannot stress it enough. And self-love is just
And
it's
what you were
good.
saying about, you know, seeing people maybe on social media, online, having these looks, maybe having fashion, clothing, accessories, or having a makeup look, and then wanting that, you might feel like you need it. It's always like the next step, you need it to be a better you.
Mm,
And then you see something else, you need it to be a better you. You always feel this need for something else. So once again, bringing it back to feeling confident in yourself without anything else. Also just recognizing, obviously, it's how these social media influencers portray it.
exactly. And all over the internet, there are also people who are like explaining like, hey, you don't need to feel insecure because they edit their photos.
Yeah.
And Instagram or social media just in general is a way for people to express themselves. Though, if you're feeling that you need to be a certain thing from like people on the internet, like a bad example, not bad example, but like an example probably like, oh, if you like what Kim Kardashian's wearing and you're like, oh, I have to be like Kim Kardashian. No, you don't have to be like her. She can be your inspiration. And it's just people on social media, they show their lives, like the best parts of their lives. And I'm pretty sure like it's constant, people all over the internet are saying just like, oh, don't believe in social media because of these lies, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry about it. Because the more you worry about it, the more you're taking away from your life. I feel like because when I was in 7th, 6th, and 8th grade, I was a very sort of jealous person, and I constantly wanted like other things people had. And the thing about that is I realized majority of my childhood was just me being jealous of someone else. So it's just kind of sad because I realized I could have spent that time without feeling jealous to actually like make more memories with my friends and like
Right.
actually have fun. And the reason why self-love and confidence at like a younger age is just so important is because eventually you're gonna have a lot of regrets. And when you're regretful or in that stage of like, oh, I'm not feeling that great, that you do look back to your younger memories. So don't focus on yourself so much. Focus on the
Honestly,
world.
I think at a very, very young age, probably until maybe middle school, you don't even think about your appearance. You don't think about needing outside forces for validation.
Hmm.
You just think about your friends. You think about playing. You think about school.
I feel that's so sad. Like social media is such like a powerful resource, but it's just so harmful as well, especially
Right.
towards like the younger generations.
You know, like, and they're getting exposed to it at an earlier age.
Hmm.
And as they grow up, they're almost taught by society to
Look
need
a
to,
certain way or
yeah,
like feel a certain way. But again, on the upside, social media does provide you towards like so many different there. So a lot of things I learned in life is from social media because information is also passed very easily on social media. So it's a little bit of like pro and con, whether or not you like it's very influential, but if it's used in the wrong way, it's very harmful.
yes, yeah. Can we talk about the expectations of women in terms of makeup?
Oh God. The expectations of women. Honestly, I think
I think there's almost a double standard because you see that people are saying women that wear makeup, maybe heavy makeup or just any makeup at all, they're being fake, they're being too girly to because they're wearing makeup. But then you obviously see, like I think women are less likely to be hired in a workplace if they don't wear makeup, which
oh
honestly,
God. Oh, I hate that.
yeah, because I think it makes you also look older if you wear makeup. So that is just, I don't like that.
That's just so stupid to me. I just don't understand. Like, okay, oh, like I'm pretty sure the study that you mentioned, women are more likely to be hired if they wear makeup, but on social media, if they wear makeup, they're considered fake.
Right, it's like, what are
And
you supposed to do then?
exactly, I just don't.
And then you have to resort to wearing makeup, but then always trying to get this natural as if you didn't wear makeup, like hiding that you wear makeup but wearing makeup.
It is so sad because I just,
Then it
especially in
starts
like such a
becoming,
progressive society, the
yeah,
fact that like we say we're progressive, but in reality, I don't really feel like we're making a lot of progress.
yeah. And then
Because
it comes back to catering to other people and what they want, what is expected of you.
I think it's like the stereotypes. Stereotypes are just so, I would say, engraved, engraved into our society that when people are like, oh, let's get rid of stereotypes, I feel like the sad reality is we'll never truly get rid of stereotypes.
We'll always
Mhm.
have, just especially even on the individual level, you'll always have assumptions that you make in your day-to-day interactions, just the
Mhm.
judgments that you make before even getting to know a person. I think we'll always have that just because obviously your brain is made to learn from your experiences. So if you've had an experience with someone of a similar whatever it is, it has to be, it could be race, gender, wearing makeup, not wearing makeup, and then you apply that to situations, which makes
Mhm.
sense. You can't really blame an individual for that. And I think that would be what's called implicit bias. Maybe it's subconscious, right? Like you don't understand and you don't realize that you have these biases against people, but it's about trying to be mindful about it, right?
Mhm.
And recognizing that you have these stereotypes, maybe without realizing it, but not acting on it. Because when you
Yeah.
act on it, that's when it becomes racism, sexism,
Exactly. Like I totally agree with what you're saying. one, it's totally normal to have stereotypes, even though I made it sound like before stereotypes are bad. Stereotypes, like, if you have them and you're not brave enough, just like if you're willing to admit that, yeah, I do have stereotypes, there's a difference from knowing and admitting that you do have stereotypes and actually trying to like I would say there's a difference between like what you said, acting on stereotypes or just simply keeping them in mind but not really paying attention to them. That's
Yeah.
really important.
But honestly, I do think that it requires some degree of courage to
It does.
recognize that and to admit it.
And
right?
like we all have stereotypes.
Yeah.
Like this, if it's really controversial, we're all a little bit racist inside.
No, yeah.
We're all just a little bit racist, even if you don't want to admit it.
Like you were saying, it takes someone to be brave to
admit,
recognize it,
yeah.
and then because you first have to recognize it. That's the first step in making any improvement in your actions, in your beliefs. And then there are those people who are like, I don't see color, I don't see black and white. I see gray. I'm like, you have to see it, because then what are we doing? There's obviously things wrong with our society. You have to see it.
Exactly. And those type of people, when they say like, oh, I don't see black and white, I only see gray. That's great. But are you doing anything to help right now? Like, those type of people are usually the type of people who are only posting on Instagram. And like, again, those people, they usually just say things and they don't act on those things. They don't try to be like, they don't try to like help organizations. They just say it just as almost as like personality trait that
To be,
that sounds,
what is it? To be woke. And
to be woke. Yeah.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap.
All right, let's wrap it up.
All right. So we have talked a bunch about, we went from makeup to fashion. We even talked about the K-pop industry somewhat in that makeup and fashion.
And just in self-confidence, self-love in general.
Oh, yeah. That is the key takeaway.
That is the key to this, what we're talking about in this episode.
Really.
Wow, it was nice doing this. I feel like it was a really meaningful conversation.
Yeah, it was nice. Do you have any last words maybe on self-love?
Self-love is so important. Self-confidence is so important. I myself do struggle with it, even though a lot of my friends think I'm really confident and stuff. No, I have ups and downs, and I just want to let you know, when you're in your darkest, sort of like lowest stage in life, it's okay. You're going to get through. You're going to eventually. Time will pass. Just focus on, I would say, how you're doing right now and how you can improve yourself.
Honestly, I forgot to say this before, but I was seeing on YouTube Shorts, I think it's a trend on TikTok, but I saw it on YouTube Shorts, that people are filming these videos of themselves with beautiful makeup. They look perfect in a photo, in a video, and then they zoom in or they change the filter. They take out the filter so it's natural lighting. And then you can see what people might say the imperfections, but in reality, these are like very normal things. Like obviously texture on skin. Like, whose skin is glass? No one.
Exactly. If you are blessed with glass skin, you're one of the very few minorities who do have glass skin.
So like, honestly, I think people eventually start to learn. They go through different journeys, all these individual stories, right? It takes different amounts of time, but like, I think eventually, and obviously we're all going through this, but learning that they're all just bodies. If we're talking about bodies specifically, they're all just, so the best thing you can do is focusing on yourself and bettering your personality and your beliefs, all of that, rather than things that don't matter, end up not really mattering at all. All right, that is a wrap.
All right, that is a wrap.
Next time.
All right, see you next time or next episode where I appear.
Yes.